YouTube, this is Megan with Pagan Perspective, and we are on break right now, and the subs are taking over. Hi YouTube! So this is Megan with Pagan Perspective, and we are doing our extended subs week while the regular hosts are on vacation. And today we're actually talking about something that actually strikes a chord with me and is pretty personal, and that is about the negative history around paganism, witchcraft, and negative responses that people might get to their faith even today. So I'm going to read the question. So it's from Cactus Druid 476, and Cactus Druid says, I have heard and often wondered about the importance of tradition in religions. I am sure some of you have heard this before too. What do you do when you are confronted by someone or something that references the negative rumors and associations of pagan history and tradition? Examples are druids and blood sacrifice, wiccans and black magic of the satanic kind, etc. The thing that irritates me the most is that the religions that the troublemakers generally belong to no longer follow the original ways either. Just felt like saying this because a number of people in a few religions, not all people, cannot even answer questions about the general history of their own religion. The really bad ones refuse to even allow a discussion. Okay, so couple of things in here, and it kind of opens up a whole other topic or other ways to go about things. So let's get right into the first part of it, which is if we've ever been confronted by somebody who talks about pagan history, the negative things in pagan history. So I think this is important to talk about because the stereotypes and the religious discrimination, it's not gone, and it's by no means gone. So what I want to say about this is, though we do have more presence now in the public eye, so pagans are becoming more accepted, there is more religious tolerance, it is not even close to being all the way there. Now, in some places, it might be much closer than others. As I've mentioned before, I live in New Hampshire. Now, New Hampshire, for a very, I don't want to say conservative state because it's voted, New Hampshire has voted Democratic in the past two or so presidential elections. But historically speaking, New Hampshire is very conservative. New Hampshire is very country and, hard and live free or die. However, that live free or die is actually taken very seriously. And so you're allowed to do just about anything you want. We're very, free on that side of it. However, it's also a little bit of that don't ask, don't tell thing, which is problematic. So we are an at-will state for employment, and Twisted Witch was talking about, that it's religious discrimination in the workplace. In Australia, that's probably the case, and in probably many parts of the United States, it's the case. However, where I'm from, it's something that I have to be very quiet about. I am not hiding it, but I also don't flaunt it. If someone were to ask me directly, I would tell the truth. I will never lie about my faith. In fact, I have to say, Delia, it brought me to tears when you talked about being willing, thinking now that you might be able to have the conviction in your faith to be willing to die for it. And it's something I've always felt, and I really feel that having that passion, it's something so wonderful, and I don't feel like enough people truly feel it. And whatever it is that you're that passionate about, it's such a wonderful, moving experience. And so I would never lie about my faith, but I also don't parade it. This being said, I can't just be out, be proud, all of that at work. I have to be professional. So in my line of work, in therapy, I very much am a mirror, so a blank slate for clients coming in. So I have to be very careful of that. And one of the things that can be very difficult is when Gesundheit. Bebe just sneezed. One of the things that can be really difficult is when I'm approached in my personal life by someone who really looks at the negative history, the negative Christian history of paganism. And I really want to point out this distinction. Even the word history is incredibly patriarchal. His story, it's not her story. It's not her story. It's his story. There's many beliefs around it, is that it's Christ or it's God or it's man. It's all of this, but it's man. It's patriarchal. And unfortunately, you know, the winners, so to speak, the majority, where the privilege is, Christian privilege, says that they get to tell the history. And they tell the history that we are Satanists, devil worshippers. And the common thread right now in many Christian circles who do say that pagans are devil worshippers, they've gone away from this, you're hiding, you're telling us one thing, but you truly know you're worshiping the devil. They've gone away from that. Now they actually believe that we believe we're not worshiping the devil. But here's where they try and get you. They say that you are worshiping the devil, you just don't know you're worshiping the devil, because the devil's tricky and lies and hides and all these things. And I mean, it's complete hogwash, and it's infuriating. So I don't want to get on a whole long topic of that, but this topic really hits home for me. I've had quite a lot of experiences with this in my life, and I was bullied quite a lot because of it, and it's something that stays with you, and it doesn't go away. And so I would encourage you, if you get the chance, to tell the story, the pagan story, about where we come from and what the burning times really were, and who we truly worship and what we truly believe. It's so important. That's why on my personal channel, you'll see I had a response to Fox News. And I'm all for opinion. If they really wanted to say their opinion, fine. Freedom of speech, go ahead, say your opinion. But when you get the facts wrong, that's when I have a problem. And so I think that that's super important. And it just really frosts my cupcakes when I hear that people are calling Halloween Samhain. It's like, they are two separate holidays. Or when people call it Samhain, that drives me crazy. It's Samhain. But I think that what's really important here to remember is that we spread as much of the message as we can, and as much as you're comfortable doing that. Some people might not be in a position to educate or be in a position to spread that message. When people say, do you practice white magic or black magic? And if I have the time, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I have to just sort of tell them, oh, well, I'm a good witch, and just leave it at that. But when I have the time, I explain how, at least in my belief, there is no white and black magic. There is just magic. And it's what you choose to do. It's your intention and it's your focus that decides the purpose of that magic. Whether the purpose is for negative self-gain, harming someone, or it's for, positivity, light, energy, healing, all of that. So, to explain that to people, it takes a little bit of time, and you don't always have that. So you do have to kind of pick and choose when you're going to fight those battles. So the person, so Cactus Druid was talking about what irritates them the most is that people who are making trouble. So I think this is the people that, see a movie and then they want to try and copy it, or, they want to try and be bad in some way or gain attention, and that they don't follow the path, and they don't know how to answer questions about the path. And I think this is pretty self-explanatory in a lot of ways. They're posers, and I know that's such like an un-PC term, but that's really what they are. I mean, somebody who is claiming to be something that they know nothing about is posing. I mean, that's just how it is. And, if they think that's what it is and they haven't taken the time to research, they've just watched a few movies and think that they're following the path, they're not making it easier on us. Absolutely. And is it irritating? Yeah. But there's not much we can do about that. I think what I hope is that eventually we can spread the word about the pagan faith in general and show what loving, beautiful people we all are. And hopefully one day, the tolerance will be at a level where there'll be acceptance. And that's a dream, I know. But it would be wonderful. It would just be wonderful. One thing that I feel is really important to point out here is that not only are we dealing with the negativity that is coming our way based on our religion, we're also dealing with out and out discrimination in many forms. We still deal with it in the legal system. There's a wonderful book called Pagans and the Law, and that book can really help, especially if you're in a custody situation, religious discrimination at work, things like that. It can really help, and it's an excellent book, and I highly recommend it. The other thing that is important to note is that we've only recently made strides in the military. The pentacle is now one of the recognized symbols to be on grave markers, which was a big coup, and we're making some small strides. I think that one of the things that is just amazing to me is that in Colorado, I believe, there was a religious place of worship erected for all earth-based religions in the military. It's actually a stone circle, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I'll try and find the link and post it in the down bar below. And it's just wonderful. So ironically, actually, the military has been the most forward in accepting of the different faiths. I think that the rest of the country will make it eventually. I don't think we're going to ever convince certain populations. I don't think that we will ever be fully accepted. My hope, though, is that we can try to build on everything we've worked for so far and make this world better for all of us. So thank you so much. I'm sorry if I've rambled at all. And we are going to be back next week, which I'm really excited about. It's been kind of fun to do another week of this. And I really, like I said, this topic was really important to me. I've had a lot of personal experience with it, and it can be very traumatic. And if you're going through that right now, just know that you're not alone. You have a community, and there are people who will support you. All you have to do is reach out, and they'll be there. So that's it for today, guys, and I hope that you are well, and you have a wonderful weekend. It's Labor Day weekend. Hopefully some of you get a day off. I know I will. Woo! Which I'm looking forward to. And until next week, I will see you then. Blessed be.